Okay, we're back. I'm your host, VKP. During the commercial break, I did a Jewish sweep around the office, making sure that we followed the anti-Semitic leadership of CNN by who let the Jew in? I'm sorry. I know you don't like that. I don't care. I know you don't like that. You come back, you say, could you please not do that? Stephen Miller is a Jewish young man, young Jewish man, okay? From uptown, Manhattan. He's a Manhattan Jew. I don't know. Maybe he is. Oh, I'm in so much trouble. But anyhow, let's go with it. So this guy's on CNN, and Jake Tapper, I mean, I have to say, Jake, I will tell you, I would not have, let's see here.
Obsequious.
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 Obsequious. Obsequious. Obsequious.
Factotum.
Factotum. I got 2 words of the day. All right, folks. They're wanting to know, and let's put up the picture here. I did not go. I have read articles on Michael Steele, the dossier, Trump dossier. There's 2 now. There's the Michael Wolff and the Michael Steele. There's the Trump dossier. And I have read accounts where Grassley, is it Grassley and who else? But anyhow, Senator Grassley, is it Lindsey Graham that want Michael Steele? And there's the question now of why Lindsey Graham is Donald Trump's best friend. We're trying to figure that one out. But but they want criminal charges brought against Michael Steele for lying under oath, I guess, or lying to the FBI, or lying. Papadopoulos is. Scooter Libby lied. There was lying during Watergate. But that's what they want. So this morning, you have Michael Wolff, put him back up. He writes this book, Fire and Fury. And I read about 6 pages. Now, if you want to read the book, now I'm not advocating purchasing the book. I don't know if what I'm doing is illegal. Just saying now. Damn it, I don't know. I mean, it could be allegedly illegal. I could be allegedly doing something wrong right now. But WikiLeaks has dumped a PDF of the book. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to go anywhere and buy it. You can hate me if you want. Maybe what I just did. Now look at this guy. I think the authorities should be checking the basement right now, going through the basement and looking in the closets, because just saying. He's got the look. He's got the look. Just say. Did you listen to his interviews? I listened to Chuck Todd. I mean, his interviews. They admit. Okay, all of these people on the Sunday shows, and I cannot go through the list, although he doesn't exhibit exactly the journalistic standards that I live by, although there are some misrepresentations in the book, then why the hell? What validates this guy's book? Although there are some things, although he does have a questionable past, although this, but that being said, there is enough here. Now, Steve Bannon, the biggie, where Steve Bannon basically says, this is Michael Wolff here, basically says that the meeting with Don Jr., Paul Manafort, the Russian attorney at Trump Tower was treasonous, unpatriotic, and treasonous, okay? That's what this guy said, Steve Bannon said. And, and Don Jr. is going to be cracked like an egg by the media, and Ivanka is a dumb as a brick, all right? Now, Steve Bannon, you get him confused a little bit with the Swami, Back. He's backtracking Bannon right now. I think you're sloppy Steve and backtracking Bannon, okay? So backtracking Bannon is saying, no, that's not, he hasn't denied the quotes in the book, but he said, where it comes to treasonous and unpatriotic, he felt more, or whatever, the comments were directed towards Paul Manafort. But this guy here, everyone on the morning shows that will come up and actually, they start out with, although it doesn't meet journalistic standards, it did this guy abuse off the record. Now, our writers here at FetcherNews.com, they are told we do not, absolutely do not take advantage of people we interview, okay? There are so many people. Now, wait just a minute. I'm going somewhere with this, damn it. You're going to want to pay attention, all right? Now, there's so many people, okay, that in small media markets, and God knows LJ and Blue Ridge is a small media market, that they don't understand the off-the-record protocol, okay? So we run into, at FetcherNews.com, we run into somebody that talks and then says, after a minute of telling us something, now that's off the record. And now we have an ethical dilemma. Not this ass on the screen. Sam, you just may have to close your ears because it could get wild. I know you missed that, didn't you, Sam? Glad to be back. Anyhow, so we have the opportunity to take advantage of people in these areas that don't understand off the record. So our reporters at FetcherNews.com, I'm going to give you a rundown, okay? Let me give you the skinny here, and that wouldn't be me. Here's how we do it. We tell people, we're supposed to tell people, our writers are supposed to tell people when we interview them, please understand what we're about to say is on the record. If you choose to say something off the record, please tell me you're off the record. If you choose and wish for me to turn the recorder off, I will turn the recorder off. Now, that does not exempt, or that does not make it permissible for our writers to use off-the-record statements even if they're in a recording. Okay? That's not permissible. But what will happen is a lot of people will talk, and I'm going somewhere, damn it. A lot of people will talk and then say, but that was off the record. All right? Now, our policy is not to take advantage of those people. If they say something and they say a minute later, they're not used to the media and they say, now that's off the record, we don't take advantage of them. So you can trust off the record, and it better be, and Sam knows this because she is the general manager here, and we both know that off the record better be off the record, and our writers here at FetcherNews.com better not ever abuse that, okay? We want to always be respected as a source that brings you information that on the record and quotes are actually what happened, and we don't do people wrong. Now, so what you wanted me to believe is the President of the United States. Okay, this is a guy he's not a genius. Okay, so let's go into let's go into Trump 1. Let's go into the tweet Trump number 1. So this is the response because President Trump he's being taken to the woodshed by all the media that he's not fit for duty, he's not fit to be president, he needs removed. Oh, they're actually gushing. And you need to go and read the amendment, the 25th Amendment, Section 4. Therefore, when the president transmits to the president pro temp of the Senate and the Speaker of the House his written declaration that no inability exists, he shall resume powers and duties of his office unless the vice president and majority of either principal officers of the executive department, that's the cabinet, or for such other body of Congress, may law provide, translate other body of Congress, transmit within 4 days to the president pro temp and the Senate and the Speaker of the House their written declaration that the president is unable to discharge the powers and duties of the office. Okay? They were begging cabinet members to come on yesterday. The media is begging a cabinet member because this guy said, don't take the tweet down, this guy said that the 25th Amendment is spoken about on a daily basis in the Trump White House. On a daily basis, the 25th Amendment is discussed. Him being unfit. And see, what you need is you need the cabinet to get together and vote. All right? The executive branch cabinet. And they need to vote and then go down and call Paul Ryan and say, we've got what we need. He needs to go to a psychological exam or we want him out. The media is begging a cabinet member to come forward. Begging. Okay? That's why yesterday they begged Lindsey Graham to say he would be on the cabinet. Because if he said he would be in the president's cabinet, the next thing would be, as a member of the president's cabinet, do you feel he's fit? Begging a cabinet member. They are looking for a cabinet member right now. So they are begging someone to start the process of him being unfit. So President Trump tweets out, actually throughout my life, my two greatest assets have been mental stability and being like really smart. Being like really smart. Crooked Hillary Clinton also played these cards very hard, and everyone knows she went down in flames. I went from very successful businessman to top TV star, put number 2 up, to president of the United States. On my first try. I got it first time out. I'm not like Nixon that lost to Kennedy then came back. I got it first time around. I think that would qualify me as not smart, but maybe a genius. And a very stable genius at that. Now the media is freaking out because yes, the guy took $1 million. Okay, the guy took $1 million from his dad. He did. Went to Manhattan. Go to Manhattan today. Ask Mayor Koch. Mayor Koch, okay? After you get a black and white cookie. All right? Ask Mayor Koch. He took Manhattan. He went down when New York City was going broke. All right? New York City was absolutely going broke. It was D-Day. Every night. I lived in the media market in New York. Okay? Growing up as a kid. D-Day. I swear to God, New York City's broke. Here comes this kid. He's a kid, Donald Trump. Long, he wears the long raincoat. The Executor. He got the Executor raincoat on. Okay, Morty Seinfeld sold him the Executor raincoat. He goes down to Manhattan, right? He takes $1 million. His dad, he says, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but, his dad's making millions out there in Staten Island building apartments, right? For Jews and blacks. Oh my God, did I say that? Right? So he's out there, he's out there in Queens. His dad's out there in Queens making millions. So Donald won't shut up, right? I want to go to Manhattan. Shut the hell up. Go to Manhattan. Here's $1 million. Will you shut up? So he goes down there because he knows New York City's broke, and he knows that commissioners, the members of the New York City Council Commission, banks, anybody, Mayor Koch, they love this new energy coming in that wants to save New York City. Donald Trump fits that. He goes right in. He noticed a very tragic situation that he capitalized on. Oh my God, how dare him. So I remember that very clear. So he goes down there and he actually builds Lower Manhattan up to what it is today. He has so much invested in Lower Manhattan and how it looks today, okay? Guy does that. Billions of dollars. All right, yeah, he inherited some from his family, billions of dollars. Then NBC, he decides, all right, we'll do a show. Boom, #1. The guy does The Apprentice. I mean, a massive show, and he does an enormous job. All right? So then he says, hey, now I can be president. First shot out of the box. He takes down the Jeb Bush. He takes down Hillary Clinton. He takes down Marco Rubio. I mean, has anybody noticed or thought about the names that went down in flames? So this guy, first time out of the box, becomes president. He says, hey, maybe I'm a genius, damn it. Maybe I'm a genius, right? Huh? Because, and then they say he doesn't read. I love this. He doesn't read. So you're telling me he just got lucky with every friggin' deal he made in Manhattan. He never read a single contract. He never had a meeting with a single member of a union, never read a contract, just got lucky on the Manhattan deal. Then NBC called him, all right? Now here, I'm going somewhere, damn it, pay attention. So NBC calls him up and says, hey, we got an idea for a show. Okay, here's what I want. Boom, boom, boom. So you want to tell me that he never read anything but NBC, and it all worked out, just miraculously worked out. Never read a sheet of paper on NBC. Just said, hey, I'm going to take this shot, right? Next thing you know, all right? So then he says he's going to be president. What Stephen Miller was trying to tell Jake Tapper, okay, that we would fly in, and Jake Tapper wasn't about to listen. He said, you know, he wasn't going to listen to this Jew. So Stephen Miller's trying to tell Jake Tapper on CNN, hey, look, I watched this guy. We would be flying in, we're on a stage in 30 minutes, and a news cycle would change, something would break. And I would watch this guy get in on Trump Force One and dictate a brand new 20 minutes, okay? Dictate a brand new 20 minutes for the rally, get off the plane, go to the rally, and give the speech flawlessly and move on. Handle it just like that, right? So anyhow, now, there's two things I want to take away. The main thing I want to take away today, all right? Put up Minka and Joe. Fire and fury, fallout for the Trump administration, okay? They are so excited. Joe says this morning, Joe Scarborough says this morning, quote, okay? Where's it at? Trump not stable. I don't know how this ends, but it can't continue. The Republican, so I don't know how this ends. This is Joe Scarborough Minka, all right? I don't know how this ends, but it can't continue. Joe Scarborough, once claiming to be a Republican, said the Republicans, when are they going to get the message? They need to get destroyed in the midterms. Destroyed, okay? In the midterms. That's what they're hoping for is Republicans. This will work out that the Republicans get destroyed in the midterms, all right? Now, this guy, Wolff, said he has about 3 hours with the President of the United States. 3 hours. Now, here's a President of the United States that has played the media, okay, from day one. No, not the day one you're thinking about. You see, the New York Daily News and Mayor Ed Koch and Channel 5 and Channel WPIX and Channel WOR out of New York, he has played them his whole life to his advantage. His whole life. Now, leave Wolff up for a minute. All right? You see, Trump was used to getting up every morning and being on the front page of some sort of tabloid or New York Times or something in New York City on a daily basis. We're talking about a man that's had more reporters in his office since the 80s than any president, any senator, any congressman. This man, what was his first wife? Ivana Trump? I guess so. But his first wife, the complete divorce was on the front page every single day. Every business move he made was on the front page. This guy knows more about a reporter being in his office than anybody else. He knows when he's telling a reporter something he wants out. This guy, Donald J. Trump, from the 80s all the way through, all right, is reporter savvy, media savvy. He gets up in the morning and says, hey, I want to create a hype. Get me WOR, WPIX, get me Times, get me 4 or 5. We're going to create a hype. I'm going to go out with something so they'll run it on the front page and then I'll have to answer for it. This guy's a genius with the media. He's done it his whole life. All right? Nothing else. He's done this his whole life. So this guy right here, that's writing tabloid, okay? This guy right here is writing tabloid. This guy right here, that everyone at the round tables are opening up with, well, it's not exactly the journalistic standards that I'm used to or that I carry out myself, or that the standards that we adhere. Normally in journalism, it's not always the standards we adhere. They all started out, pay attention, all right? But because this is an attempt to get Steve Bannon and Donald Trump, the media are throwing out all journalistic standards, everything. So they can read the 25th Amendment, Section 4, and tell you it's a scary thought that President Trump is President of the United States. Because what this guy wants you to believe is that he spent 3 hours with the President of the United States. He wants you to believe that. He wants you to believe that for 3 hours, President Donald Trump was not aware of who he is, not aware of what he was doing, and not aware of what he was saying to him. Now, Trump made it through the 80s in all the business dealings in New York, and all the tabloids. Trump made it through the New Jersey Generals, the USFL. Trump made it through every single thing, whether it's bankruptcies, no matter what, with the media. Trump made it through The Apprentice. But Trump couldn't handle this guy for 3 hours. I don't know about that. I'm not for sure. And this guy wants you to believe that he had a bench outside the West Wing where, you know, people can come and go, and he just sat there. Nobody said, who's the weird dude outside on a bench? Okay? But everybody stopped and talked to him. Everybody. Okay? Just saying. Steve Bannon, did he stop and talk to him? Probably. But I'm just telling you right now, you want me to believe all of a sudden the President of the United States does not know how to deal with the media. Mike Pompeo. Put up Mike Pompeo's picture. I may not get to everything, but put up Pompeo's picture. Mike Pompeo, the head of the CIA. Okay? He's on with Chris Wallace. He tells Chris Wallace asks him, and I forget the exact question, but Chris Wallace asked Mike Pompeo, you know, if he felt the president, if they were analyzing his stability at the CIA. You know, there was a couple times, I do know one clearly, that Mike Pompeo, the CIA director, former congressman from Kansas, looked at Chris Wallace and said, it's a discussion because you're making it a discussion. It's a topic today because you're making it a topic. Then he looked at Chris Wallace and he said, I won't dignify that question with an answer. I won't dignify it, okay? It's beneath an answer, all right? That's how low they were going. But Mike Pompeo, the CIA director, okay, he delivers the CIA, the national security briefing every morning to the President of the United States. Now, I don't know what time he does it because the media wants you to believe that the President doesn't get out of bed till 11, and it's only at that time. But you know why he doesn't? Darn. I got to spill the beans. The media wants you to believe the President of the United States doesn't get out of bed till 11. That's what they want you to believe. Now, if that's true, the reason he doesn't is because McDonald's, he doesn't like the breakfast, and they don't start serving lunch till 11. So, you know, he likes his Big Mac. So he says, I might as well not get out of bed if I have to eat a McGriddle. All right? I'm going to go with a Big Mac. That's what I like. I'm just joking, folks. But the CIA director, Mike Pompeo, delivers the national security briefing every morning. And this is what he said in the interview. Don't believe me. Watch the interview. And he says the president's very engaged every day when he gives. Now, here's what they're saying. All right? Now, oh my God, there's not enough time. The president's so damn dumb, we have to give him pictures. I swear to God, folks, I'm not making this up. But do we understand you use a lot of graphs and charts because he doesn't read a lot. He's so damn dumb. All right, now let me ask you a question. So you got a dentist appointment, right? You got a dentist appointment. You pick up the magazine. You're looking at the pictures, right? You're really reading the articles. You only got 15 minutes. The dentist's going to call you in and want to fill your tooth, right? You flip through the magazine. You look at the pictures. All jokes aside, that's exactly how low they have gotten in the media. That's what Chris Wallace. But do you not use a lot of charts and graphs? Yeah. Yeah, we put more colorful charts and graphs together in our reports because the president likes to see what's going on. Oh, that's interesting. So he doesn't read the report. USA Today, folks. When USA Today exploded over other print media, don't forget, okay? This is a very known fact. Years ago, when USA Today exploded, before the age of personal computers and everybody had one in their pocket, when they exploded, the fact is because all of the black and whites were black and white. And USA Today realized that people like to see charts and graphs. And that instead of looking at an unemployment report in the black and white, that people would stop and look at the unemployment report in a pie-shaped graph, colored, and it would get their attention. So how many dumbass people are out there because USA Today exploded at that time and the other black and whites had to catch up? Because go back there, Google right now when USA Today blew up, because people would focus in and pay more attention to an unemployment report, a jobs report. They actually got the American people to start looking at some of these different reports because they made them in color and chart and graph. So how many people do focus in on that? So Mike Pompeo, they asked him, hey, don't you give the president, paint by number charts? It was really degrading how low they were trying to go with Mike Pompeo, the CIA director. Here's where they really went to the bottom. And this is Chris Wallace. And this is not a quote, but he looks at Pompeo because part of the CIA's, when it comes to dictators, okay, dictators in the world and other world leaders, is the CIA will do psychological analysis of these world leaders. I mean, they say Rocket Man's crazy. Well, they don't just say he's crazy. The CIA has a psychological analysis of Rocket Man. So the CIA, your CIA America, they go out and they do a psychological analysis of world dictators and world leaders. Chris Wallace says, you guys actually do psychological analysis every day of world leaders and dictators. Have you done a psychological analysis of the president? They couldn't get anybody to come on TV and say it was crazy. And when they tried to silence the Jewish fellow, Michael Miller, they killed his mic. I got to close. I've gone too far. I want to talk about the dark side of teen shows. Folks, there is a dark side you need to pay attention to that on Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, you name it. All of them are writing these very dark side teenage shows. And you need to pay attention. I read an article this weekend. There's one called End of the Effing World. And I read a full article on this. Why are we writing so many dark side of young teenage children, kids? It's alarming. You should pay attention to that. DACA, will the Republicans cut a deal this week with the Dreamers for border wall money? My concern is they will not completely fund the wall. They will give the impression of funding the wall, and we will fall for a deal with the Dreamers. I'm just saying, we'll talk more about that tomorrow after we open the show. Tomorrow with our Georgia National Championship Day. Let me see what else I have. Let's see. Jake Tapper went through that. CIA Director Joe Scarborough, not stable. I want to be as crazy as Trump. I'm going to end that way. I want to be as crazy as Trump. This Michael Wolff says people around the president are concerned on his ability to serve. Let's see, Golden Globe Awards. Lets us know we have hope. There's always Oprah Winfrey out there figuring out how to remove him. Folks, they are on a daily basis trying to figure out how to remove him. By the way, ABC Brian Ross is back at work. He's got his job back. And let's go with fake news, the tweet from the president that says fake news. I am as upset as you are, folks, but fortunately today's National Championship Day. We were hoping, I was glued. I'd already canceled all of my afternoon appointments so I could be home in time for the fake news awards. The President of the United States promised us last week that Monday at 5 o'clock that he would be rolling out the 2017 Fake News Awards. Well, he is rescheduled, but I'm going to give him a pass because he's going to Nashville today talking about farming and agriculture. Then he's going to fly over to Atlanta and be a Georgia Bulldog fan with Herschel Walker. He may try to be neutral in this, but he's going to national championship games, so he maybe got a little busy. But he put out a tweet. The Fake News Awards, those going to be the most corrupt and biased of the mainstream media, will be presented to the losers on Wednesday. I want the black tie. I want the tux. I want everybody out there cheering. I want nominees. Okay. Wednesday, January 17th, rather than this coming Monday or today. The interest in and importance of these awards is far greater than anyone could have anticipated. I will not miss the Fake News Awards. I can't wait. And yes, I'm leaving this morning telling you I want to be as crazy as President Trump. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back tomorrow on what we're calling Georgia National Championship Day.